Everybody loves you, so don't let them down. You look in her eyes, the music begins to play.
Good evening, everybody. And yes, the white smoke over the BSU headquarters today. Habemus Rangerum, we have a coach. Welcome to the Blueshirt Underground show. Today is Friday, a rare Friday show for us. May 2nd. There's already 1,000 YouTube videos about this, but we wanted to be 1,001. Today is Friday. It is May the 2nd. We are not talking playoff hockey. We are talking Habemus Rangerum. We have a coach. My name is Jim, and as always, I am joined by the one and only Eddie Geik. Eddie, good evening. Thank you for joining me on short notice.
No problem.
Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you taking time out of your Friday night.
Hey, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we're available. I'm glad the thousands of people in the chat room.
Absolutely. They are filing in. I see Don Cordoza, Mike Silvers, John Riggs, Kim Sunback, Rob Scotty, just to name a few. Now, we have been talking for years now. I mean, 6, 7 years, 8 years. I'm not sure how long we've been doing this. We've been doing the show for 16 years. We have been on Patreon now, as you've known, for, 8 or 9 years. And we do have people that sponsor the show, and we do some exclusive content for them. And if you were a Patreon member, which you can sign up for at www.patreon.com/BlueshirtUnderground. Sponsor the show, $1 a month. There are so many benefits. I can't even begin to tell you, but had you been a Patreon member and watching the show, you would have seen this just recently as the one and only Eddie Geik. The Pittsburgh Penguins announced that Mike Sullivan, they are parting ways with Mike Sullivan.
The next new Ranger coach.
That seems to be the... you're calling it a fait accompli.
I will put my internet reputation, as Bill Chadwick used to say, he'll put his reputation on the line. He's got a reputation to be a guy who likes to throw the fists. I will put my internet reputation that Mike Sullivan will be the next New York Rangers coach. Yes, all right, so our next firing.
So
John Riggs.
All right, so you're putting your reputation on the line there, and how do you feel about that? Since you think it's a done deal, how do you feel about it? Might as well tell us now.
Retarded. I mean, to be politically incorrect, it's stupid. No hope, no future for me. No, don't forget. I have to include that. According to Darwin Bushman, there's no future for you, and there's no future for me. What's the matter, you? Hey, why do we gotta get this coach? Hey, hey, he fits all the criteria, Jim. He's a
retread.
He won a Stanley Cup.
Won a Stanley Cup. American.
Yes. The Team USA ties, American.
He's a FOD, an FOD, friend of Drury.
Right, friend of Drury.
FOD. So see, there you have it. Before Jay Glazer had this information, before Kevin Weeks, before Elliot Friedman, before Edward R. Murrow, before Red Barber, Marty Glickman, Jim Gordon, you heard it here first. Before Stan Fischler had it, before it was on Twitter, before it was on MySpace, before it was on GeoCities, Prodigy, they didn't have it. You had it right here when Edward R. Geik staked his reputation on Mike Sullivan becoming the next Rangers coach. Habemus Rangerum, we have a coach. So it's a done deal. He's the highest paid coach in NHL history. He's only got, it's a 5-year deal. He's only got to work 2 because that's how it works. It is, as former captain Jacob Trouba said, a rite of passage to get fired at MSG, unless, of course, you're Glenn Sather or Chris Drury. Sully is back in town. Will he be landing this team in the Hudson like another Sully, or will this team soar into the heavens? How do you feel?
It's the same old, same old. I think he's a good coach. I think he's actually an upgrade over Laviolette Go and the Wascally Wabbit Jawad Gawant. But it doesn't matter because the fraternity, the frat club mentality, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And that's the way a cookie crumbles. I predict calamity. Now, would you agree with me, Jim, that if this is the failure that I think it is, at least in the next 2 years, that this GM does not get another extension? You cannot go 3 coaches and do fucking bupkis.
Well, according to Dancing Larry Brooks, I watched their show. I watched some of it. According to Larry Brooks, it is a 2-year extension for Drury. Now, for all we know, because we're never told anything, that might be for 2040 and 41. He may have already had a 15-year contract in place. What's up, Joe Long? What's up, Daryl Bush? So it is a 2-year extension. So I think that whatever happens with this coach, Chris Drury, is intertwined. Their fates are now aligned. They are commingled. This is it. You better have this right. You wanted this guy 2 years ago. You couldn't get him. You had to settle for Gerard Gallant. You couldn't, or excuse me, I guess that's 4 years ago. You couldn't get him 2 years ago, so you got Peter Laviolette. Now you got him. You got the coach you always wanted. You better be right. That's all I got to say. I hope it works out for him. I wish them all $1 million.
An exhaustive search, Jim.
Oh, my God. He looked under his couch cushions. There was no coach there.
I mean,
he looked in you know that cabinet above the fridge that you can't reach? He looked in there. He got up on a step ladder. There was no coach in there either. And then all of a sudden, Mike Sullivan falls into his lap, and he was like Indiana Jones looking through Egypt for the ark. I mean, it was ridiculous. Poor Drury. I mean, poor Drury, dragging all those Arabs around with him, digging holes, looking for coaches, fighting off guys. You know, he had to fight that big Nazi at the plane. That poor son of a bitch got chopped up by the propeller. Finally, in the well of souls. And I know John Riggs is loving this. John Riggs is a big Indiana Jones fan. Finally, in the well of souls, he lifts the staff of Ra up to the sun and finds Mike Sullivan.
He did his due diligence.
Habemus, Rangerum, we have a coach.
That's right. I mean, they interviewed men. They interviewed women. 4 candidates. Didn't even think of hiring an assistant coach. No. They went to, 1 Stanley Cup. That's it. Friend of Drury, a FOD as we call him.
Now, I will back off a little bit on something I did say as far as Mike Sullivan being a retread. Yes, he has.
How dare you back off?
But at least I will say this about Mike Sullivan. He did coach in Pittsburgh for 10 years. And his Boston stint was very short. So this isn't a retread in quite the same respect as Tortorella or Laviolette. I mean, there's a little tread on the tires, but it's not quite as bad as some of the other guys. With this roster, I don't know if anybody saves this roster. That's my problem. I guess ask me again in October how I feel about Mike Sullivan being coach of this team, because right now, with this roster as currently constructed, Scotty Bowman couldn't coach this team.
No.
What's up, Mario? Good to see you. Todd Magano, good to see you. What's up, Rock?
What's up?
Curly Joe DeVita is here. What's up, bro?
I want to say something.
Say whatever you want.
I really. This is I am on this podcast and one of the co-hosts. So I'm free to say anything. I don't have to preface I'm going to say something. I don't want to be a broken record here, but are they going to get rid of the Jed Ortmeyers and the Tanner Glasses, the ones that are not developing this organizational stank that they have? Mike Sullivan's not going to help that, and he doesn't have a lot to work with. I think I've already stated, I think he's a better coach than the previous two. Gallant did not win a Stanley Cup, but, whatever.
I came away from Peter Laviolette's first season, even during the season, not just the end result, really impressed by him.
Larry Brooks too,
which made season 2 just that much more of a letdown. I don't know if maybe, is there a sense like when you're younger and you date a girl and the first month, 2 months, 3 months, everything's just fantastic.
Oh yeah. The newness.
And then month 4, you start to see that, everything that was so great. Is that how it is, Laviolette? Is that why there's such a drop off year? Does the newness wear off for him? Does he fall in and out of love very quickly? I mean,
listen,
it's just very strange.
I know
this is his track record.
This is his track record, but I've been over it several times, and I really think, yes, he's accountable for a lot of the shit that went on because he wasn't there was no accountability on his team.
Joe DeVita, that's a great term right there. Honeymoon coach. Maybe is that what it is? Is it once he's off the honeymoon?
How do you go from again? There was so much turnover with this roster, so much turmoil, and to use a Keandre Miller outside noise. Yes, you're right. I think that honeymoon thing is definitely a contributing factor. It's not the whole factor. I don't know what about his other jobs. When he went to the Capitals, there was a honeymoon. I don't know what, his previous jobs, Carolina, wherever he was, the Islanders, don't know exactly what contributed to that. But how do they go from Larry Brooks saying they're the most well-coached, practiced team he's never seen a Ranger team
he's ever covered?
Ever covered. What did they decide to play? What's that Canadian sport there? Where you push the thing with the
curling?
Thing? Yeah, where they have curling at practice? They just decided not to practice?
Right. So the question is he a honeymoon coach or is this a honeymoon team?
I think it's
maybe this is a team that falls in love with the coach for a year and then the bloom comes off the rose.
Yeah, and it's a team that cannot, under both coaches, regardless of the winning record, could not get it together 5-on-5. And right. that again, because the power play had been so good, and you were one of the first people to say it really masked a lot of their problems, and then when it fell apart. So, yeah, maybe I think there's so many contributing factors into this worst failure of a Rangers season I have ever witnessed.
And I think most people are in agreement on that.
So maybe it is possible the Rangers will bounce back. They like the first-year coach. But right now, it's just... I told you.
Yeah, but Tony, we kind of talked about that and compared some of the elements of the power play when Sullivan ran it.
Yeah, he didn't have the greatest personnel.
There were a couple of players on that team, but we were
Michael
our last
Delzato was
show-
running the power play. You know,
I think it
so-
might have been our Patreon show. We went over some of the numbers and some of the guys on that team. They weren't, you know.
They had Gaborik. They had Ryan Callahan. I think Michael Delzato was their power play.
And presumably Sullivan's going to bring in an assistant coach who's going to run the power play anyway.
Yeah.
It's an annulment team. They can't consummate anything.
That's true. You're right.
Except the fans, except the fans, Margaret.
Yes.
They're constantly consummating us. Bend over and they consummate us constantly.
I want hockey people, not hockey players. I want the brainiacs. I want the wonks. I want the guys who are book smart. That's it. That's it. That's all I want in an organization. Oh, you know, so, but they did it so, I mean, what was it, 30 seconds? The only thing guy did quickly in his tenure, Drury, is freaking get Mike Sullivan. It was like, what have they got? Some kind of romance going? I mean, the guy was like gone in like a day. There was the Rangers.
I mean, you know, don't bullshit a bullshitter. I mean, last week,
right.
he fires Laviolette. There's going to be an extensive search. Now, even with the Rangers, even as tight-lipped as they keep everything, as under wraps as they keep everything, you still hear this one's being interviewed, this one's being interviewed.
Oh, that Jessica Campbell, whatever her name was.
Well, I mean, that was just a suggestion on Larry Brooks's part. But in previous years, you've heard they interviewed this guy, they interviewed it. This year, there was nothing. There wasn't a Peter Laviolette is fired, Mike Sullivan's hired. Those are the only two things you heard in a week and a half about the coaching.
Plug it in.
There was no, Drury met with this one, or the Rangers have interest in this one. They're bringing this one in. They had a Zoom meeting with this one. Nothing. This exhaustive search was just him waiting out Pittsburgh. And let me ask you, I'm kind of wondering now.
Okay.
Because there wasn't a lot of smoke about Sullivan being like separating from the Penguins. Do you think this in any way has anything to do with the fate of this first round pick the Rangers owe the Penguins?
Oh, you think this is part of a...
Do you think there's a backroom deal going on here with this first round pick?
Could be.
Frank Saravelli, who I trust, said they didn't interview anyone else. So what did he do for a week and a half? What was he on LinkedIn? Was he on monster.com looking to see who's looking for coaching jobs?
He basically was looking in his contacts. Like Team USA, friend of Drury, FOD. He's a bod.
No Rooney Rule. They didn't interview Art Shell or...
Nah, really.
They didn't talk to Brian Flores or Aaron Glenn.
Roman Endor did not get a shot.
Tony McKegney didn't get an interview.
No, nothing. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. They're a mess. They're an organizational mess. And I'm hoping that they have a honeymoon period. I would like to watch some wins.
Right, we need a honeymoon.
We need a honeymoon. I don't even care if they can't consummate.
You all right?
Yeah, I got like an iced tea problem going on here.
Get a Ludens. Somebody get the man a Ludens.
Get me a Ludens. There's those cigars I'm always smoking, you know?
Oh, God. Get the Vicks 44.
I don't know what's going on. Went down the wrong pipe, as they used to say.
They say.
Yeah, I see some of those. Grant Fuhrer was.
Right.
Come on. Don't bullshit a bullshitter. What do they think? We're fucking stupid here?
Pokey Reddick.
Very good. The
poster. Curly Joe DeVita is bringing it tonight.
It's catching the cough. Anyway, those Ludens are straight candy. I didn't know that. So I don't know. They we're just fucking pedestrian fans that don't pay attention to details. I mean, come on. I listen. they got so much baggage, the Rangers, from last year. And it's going to be tough. You got the Panarin thing. And let me ask you guys this.
I thought the Rangers had the choice on the first round pick.
Ray Neufeld. Wow. Let's get the update on this whole thing. Oh, I need a Ricola. Ricola. I'm actually pretty good now. I feel my throat is healed through this wonderful conversation we're having. I had a question. Do you think? I guess I forgot my question, but I'm hoping it's a honeymoon. Oh yes. What do you think Sullivan can bring to the Rangers that they don't have? Anybody? No, I know ultimately our opinions don't matter. But the thing is, a guy who is very cued in and very worried about optics, criticism from everywhere, even this wonderful 16-year-old podcast, may make its way to Mr. Drury. Now, I'm not saying he's tuning in like Larry Brooks and the rest of the beat writers to get their stories written every week, but I'm saying they've got to read the forums. I'm sure some players check what's going on in those fake other podcasts to get like 5,000 views. And you're like, this is shit. They don't even talk. It's basically a guy doing a reaction and going nuts. What's that guy? Stevie Dickbag. What's his name? The guy who does the reactions after goals. What's his name? Anybody can help me out? But anyway,
Saps.
What's his name?
I think it's Mikey Saps is who you're talking about.
Mikey Saps. Well, he didn't have a lot of action this year. He couldn't do goal reactions this year. Maybe after every shot, he went nuts.
Right.
So, what do you think? Is he a guy? An accountable guy? He seems like he's a little bit of a hard nose. I don't think he's as soft as Laviolette was with accountability, but I don't know. I really don't know the guy as a head coach.
Well, what's funny is that there was one, and if you went all the way back to 2009, I am 100% sure that we talked about this on the show, and I actually found there was an interview back when the assistant coach used to interview actually on camera with Giannone in between periods. You remember that?
Yeah.
Mike Sullivan was one that always did it. And there was one in particular that always stood out in my mind where he was really pissed. And and John Giannone asked him, what do you need to see in the next period from the Rangers? And his response was effort. And he was pissed. And I actually found video of that interview. And this is even better than I thought it was, because look at this video. Look how pissed he looks. And he's just the assistant coach at this point. He's not even the head coach. Poor Brian Boyle with his head hanging down, headed for the locker room.
Sullivan, John.
All right, Sam, thanks very much. The frustration evident among the fans, among the players, as well as they came off the ice. What needs to happen better in the second period?
More better?
Effort. It's as simple as that. It's effort. That team wanted to play harder than we did in that period. And it shows on the shot clock. It shows on momentum. We didn't win battles. We didn't win pucks. And it's not about skill. It's about will.
But given the state of the team right now, how is it possible that that's the effort that you'd see in the first 20?
Well, that's a good question. We'll probably have that conversation in between periods.
Thanks very much.
Okay.
And by the way, they lost that game 2-1 to the Islanders.
Wonderful. More better. What a professional broadcast John Monotone is.
That aside.
Sorry, I had to get right on that.
Right. That's all right. Well, my point was, look how mad he looks. And he was an assistant coach then. But, we saw a video of Laviolette reaming out his team, and then 15 years later
exactly.
found out he'd mellowed pretty much. So, look, I am hoping. We said this when Gallant was hired. He's going to hold him accountable. Then we said it when Laviolette was hired. He's going to hold him accountable. I don't know if this roster, without major changes that I don't see how they make, I don't see how Scotty Bowman gets him to play. Even at the advanced age, how old is Scotty Bowman? He's probably about 90.
I don't know. He's probably like
92.
Right around Ruth Buzzy's age, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Ruth Buzzy. Scotty Bowman is 91.
Wow. God bless.
He didn't get an interview.
Again, you're right. Patty Duke in the chat room. What thinks you could draw more effort from these idiots now? Unless he's a soup. Again, I just don't see it. But let's hope for a honeymoon. That's my only. Let's get a honeymoon in here.
That's your bet.
Love American style. He's a USA coach. Love American style for me and you. So, whatever. I mean, it's ridiculous. But getting off this for a second, or as my father says, getting away from this, that means when you're talking, he wants to change the subject.
Right.
Can you believe Joe Micheletti will not be in our lives anymore? Happy day.
Again, I wish we had a flashback video of that. Where'd you hear that first?
Yeah.
Where'd you hear that first? Did you hear from Jay Glazer?
No.
Did you hear from Red Barber?
No.
Did you hear from Lindsey Nelson?
No. Lindsey Nelson.
Did you hear from Steve Zabriskie?
No. You didn't. Phil Pepe didn't report it?
Phil Pepe. There's a good one.
Yeah.
Bill Madden didn't have it.
No.
You heard it here. We told you months ago we thought Joe was on his way out. He was he wasn't holding anything back this year.
He was way too candid.
The odes coming in for Joe or just I can't.
Oh,
I just can't engage. Oh, what a professional. What a good man. He was so great. I'm like, oh my God.
People just think a guy because that has been around for 15 years that he's like out of whatever he was around.
Right.
That he's part of the story, the Rangers story. No, he was terrible. He was better on national broadcast than he was as a Ranger. And him and Sam had no chemistry. The only thing I will give the accolades is he did it classy. He let Sam have his.
Absolutely. For that, he deserves kudos.
Yes, some accolades for doing that.
Yes.
Other than that,
that was absolutely total 100% class on his part to let Sam have his year-long farewell tour.
And actually, nobody would have cared if Micheletti had a year-long farewell tour.
I wonder how much of that was part of it too. Like, really, who's going to care if Joe Micheletti's retiring?
Maybe they were like, Micheletti said, I'll correct Sam, and then when Sam's gone, I'm going to have to retire. Is he retiring, or is he just not doing Ranger games anymore?
He's retiring.
Wow.
Said he's been talking about it with his wife for years and decided it was time.
How come he didn't do it 5 years ago?
Right.
Can we have any Joe Micheletti clips at the ready? Maybe
I don't actually.
You're outside, right?
Yeah, they're all on the computer. I'm sorry.
Oh, the fatherly juices. That was Sam.
Right. Stretching out his groins. That was a
stretching out his groins. Yeah,
Joe one. He gained 5 pounds this offseason.
Oh God, I'm. And then Margaret was talking about the "Shut Up, Micheletti" chant at the Garden. So who's in line? Who's the next? Where's the white smoke for the new?
For the new color guy?
Yeah, the new colored guy.
I mean, everybody. I think most everybody would like Dave Maloney in that position.
I'm against this.
I know you're not the biggest Dave Maloney fan.
I like him, but I don't.
One-handed reach around. Thank you, John. That's a big one.
Yes. You know who my boy is? Mike Rupper. You know what? I like Boyle too, but Boyle lives in Boston. That's a kind of a hang up, and Massachusetts guy may not be able to commit.
Dave's 69. He's too old. Well, I mean, Kenny's 60 at this point, isn't he? I mean, we're not exactly. I mean, we're not really going with a youth movement here with Kenny Albert. Nothing against Kenny Albert. I love Kenny Albert, but it's not like
Mike Patrick is reporting Maloney has been named. Is that what sources, Mike?
I have not heard that.
Is it Mike Panic? I can't see Mike. My glasses are all foggy.
Oh, I can't see. Goddamn it!
I can't see. Goddamn it! Well, I don't care if you don't like Margaret. He's my boy, and I'm on a prediction roll. I don't know if you caught it, but Edward R. Murrow didn't even have the Mike Sullivan signing predicted. Had him signed. I know. Rupp is he's not afraid. He's knowledgeable. I like he's a fresh face. He's great Winter Classic performances. I like the dude. Oh, but Dave, he's going to do his Tullamore Dew freaking accent. Will you Tullamore Dew? Shut the hell up. Doing shtick on the radio.
According to this one Ranger blog that I found, which mostly posts like bullshit and just like speculation, that according to Andrew Marchand, who writes about media for The Athletic, he used to be with the New York Post, that he reported that Dave Maloney was going to be with Kenny, but all he and the guy's wrong. All Andrew Marchand said is that Dave Maloney figures to be a top.
Yeah, figure. That is not a confirmation.
Right. That is not a confirmation.
We're in the news business here. We don't go on these hooky faluki websites.
See, this is
Hockey Buzz, whatever they are. We don't go to those websites. Blueshirt Barbecue might go to that. Well, Paulie D and the Raiders over there.
See, this is what I'll show you. This is what this guy posts. It's just all clickbait bullshit. MSG Networks has reportedly already found Joe Micheletti's replacement moments after retirement announcement. And then he says, according to Andrew Marchand of the Athletic, it'll be Dave Maloney. But I can show you Andrew Marchand. I can show you his column. And it is right here where he says Dave Maloney figures to be a top candidate. And this is his most recent column. Don't make I'm so glad I ain't a blogger anymore that I got to chase clicks.
Oh yeah, that's
bullshit like that. Anyway,
also in some good news, and again, we don't want to be like one of those Islander fans who gloat in our misery. The New Jersey Devils have been eliminated from the Stanley Cup playoffs after winning one game more than the New York Rangers or Islanders.
Right.
Oh, good for you. I am glad they have been dispatched.
Right.
Any pain that can be inflicted on our rivals, I revel in. Still to this day. Not as a priority, but as kind of like and like a sweet little bonus in my life. So I like a homer, and I agree with you, Eurotrash. I do enjoy a homer. We need homers.
I want somebody in that position who has ties to the Rangers. Wait
a minute. What are you, Drury over here?
No, ties to the Rangers, not ties to Drury. Dave Maloney had ties to the Rangers.
I'm talking Mike Sullivan, Laviolette was a hire of the.
I'm talking about. Well, they both played for the Rangers. No, I'm talking about in Joe Micheletti's spot, calling the games. I want. Somebody,
oh yes,
I want somebody with Ranger ties.
We want a Ranger. I don't want to say a critic, but we need to bring the accolades, the criticism, and also talk about our players.
Right.
I don't care about the other team. I could give a shit less. If how many tickets that Ivan Barbashev bought for his fucking kids or his family, and I don't want to know that. I want a guy to say, well, to be fair. Like, again, you can't go berserkowitz like we can. But what Micheletti did this year, I thought was the criticisms he brought were well-founded. But he had nothing to lose. He was going to retire.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want a guy who's like mamby-pamby because he's afraid he's going to get fired from Mr. D, Mr. Drummond, who thinks, he may get reprimanded. Meanwhile, he ain't watching the show. He ain't watching the broadcast. Nobody's watching the broadcasts except for us. So, so that's yes, I want a homer. You guys are right. I want a guy who's going to be screaming when the Rangers score.
Right.
Like the exuberance after a Ranger shorthanded goal, which they get more shorthanded than they get even strength.
Right.
That's what I want. And I don't care. A lot of people are like, oh, he's such a homer. I want homers. I had enough of calling it straight down the line. No. Don't want it. Don't come around here no more, as Tom Petty said. So you got that. No, you want to circle back to Mike Sullivan? I don't know what else to say. Honeymoon. That's all I'm thinking right now.
I just think that I think I don't have a problem with the hire. It's fine. I mean, I know this is the guy they've wanted, that the GM has wanted for years. Well, now he's got his guy. Well, now there's no excuse. I mean, but this roster is currently constructed. It's no good.
If you had a color guy, and I saw Butch Goring, Chef mentioned Butch Goring, who was obviously a homer, right? Would you be comfortable? I'm going to ask you guys, and of course, Jim, I need his valued opinion here. With a guy calling players by their first name. Great pass by Adam there. Because that kind of bothers me. I don't know, but I don't know.
Doesn't Gary Cohen do that on Mets games?
He still calls him. Oh, Gary, yes, they do. They're very familiar with the
Don't
players.
they call some of the players by their first name?
Francisco, yes. Yeah, I said colored.
You know what? If it's, that doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother you.
I don't want to watch the Islanders broadcast and hear that. But if it's the Rangers broadcast and our guys are doing it, that's fine. I don't really have a problem with it. I don't want to watch the Islanders broadcast and hear about
Pierre Engvall,
Maddie and that type. I think
I have a lot of problems. Well, I know I have a lot of problems. I also have. I think I've stated this on this acclaimed show we're on podcast, that I don't like guys who have nicknames that are bad. I do not like that. Let's what can we think of? What do we got here? Think of a bad player. Who's that football player? Hollywood Brown. Why the fuck does he have a name like Hollywood? The guy is fucking a middling fucking wide receiver. Yes, the birds agree.
Birds agree. Like Pac-Man Jones.
Oh God, yeah. Rune Dog. There's one. John Riggs. That guy. And then didn't he describe himself as Rune Dog? Don't like that, or something like that.
He might have.
Yeah, he's mid. So
people are picking on Joe Tollison now. What?
Oh, everybody. Taser face. Isn't that? That's another guy. Yeah.
What's wrong with Joe Tollison?
I like Joe Tollison.
I'll take Joe Tollison over just about any other PN announcer in the league.
Yeah.
Joe is just there.
Florida.
Joe is just there.
Yeah, but
to make
don't call him Hollywood. He stinks. I don't care where he's from. You don't deserve a nickname if you stink. This is my point. Even you could have if I'm in football and they're calling me Ronkanka McGike. If I suck, I don't want the nickname. I don't want to be known as the nickname. I wouldn't add the third. I wouldn't add the fourth. Now that's in football.
Splint McCullough.
What?
Splint McCullough.
Splint McCullough.
Let's see who gets that reference.
I'm trying to think where that comes from.
You know where it's from.
Is that dodgeball? No.
Huh?
Dodgeball?
No.
No, that's Patches O'Houlihan.
Patches O'Houlihan. No, Splint McCullough was on one of our favorite TV shows. Old TV shows, 70s.
Is it from Odd Couple?
Yes. Splint McCullough's the hockey player that Felix is hitting on his girlfriend. And the guy playing the hockey player is looks like he's 65 years old.
Oh, Jesus. Rune dog. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, so it's again thrill me. Let me ask you guys this, because I'm not really up on this, and you've alluded to the fact that the Rangers do not have any. Who could they get in the offseason? Are there any free agents they could nab that could be a difference maker, or is this going to be? Well, I hope Brian Barad has a great world championship. So whatever fucking who I could give a shit about any tournament. Oh, they're going. So is it going to Brett Barad? I'm sorry. Is he going to, is there anything viable out there? Oh yeah, I remember that actor. He was in a lot of things. He always played a heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, isn't the goddamn cap? Isn't it going over?
It's going up.
It's going up. Sam Bennett. Spot Moskowitz. Well, yes, right. And Brady Tkachuk, boy, that would warm the cockles of my heart.
Yeah, I think it would warm a lot of cockles, but I don't think it's happening.
All right, I've had this discussion with other people.
Mitch Marner is a free agent.
Oh, he's going to get a ton of money.
Nick Ehlers is a free agent. Tavares is a free agent.
The 70s disco group, Tavares?
Yes. Sam Bennett's a free agent.
None of that was the Bee Gees, but I think they may have done it before. I mean, how much cash? Again, I'm not into the fuck. I'm not a wonk.
Brock Kerr and Joe Besser is a free agent.
Who? Tanner Glass is available. He's already in a management position. Can you be a player development player?
Aaron Ekblad's a free agent.
Marner is a bit of it. Well, he'll join right in with this crowd.
Marchand is a free agent.
I like Carter Verhaeghe. Would you take a Brad Marchand? I'll throw that out there. He's old.
What is he? He's 36.
Yeah.
I don't know. Talk about a hired gun.
Tavares is 70s, but punk, not disco. Sorry, Tavares is on the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, so we must be mixing up our Tavareses. Let's see. Matt Zuccarello, he's available. I take him. We all love him. Why not? He's a retread. Bring him back. I don't know.
It only takes a minute, girl, to
fall
fall in love.
Yeah. Oh, you think Zuccarello's watch? Verhaeghe is not a free agent. Off the table. I like Matthew Knees. Knees, I say Knees, you say Knives. I don't know. It's kind of a free agent. What does that mean? I need answers, folks. I came on this show for you. I haven't done any research. This is the summertime.
It's Nyes, by the way, but that's okay. He's what I'm hoping Will Cooley becomes.
The hour is nigh.
The hour is nigh.
Yeah, I think for that. Well, I think again. But I'll pose this question once again: is anybody untouchable on this team for Brady Tkachuk? Anybody.
No.
I say no, too. I say no, 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 no. He's the right age. He's in his prime. We know he can play. We know what he can do. There's no, oh, well, he's just going to get better and better and better.
Patrick Kane's a free agent.
Fuck that guy. Another Drury signing. An American guy. Just to sell jerseys. Fuck you, Patrick Kane. Die in Detroit. Well, he already died off in Detroit. And fuck you, Vladimir Tarasenko. You didn't want to play with the Rangers. Goodbye. Get out of here, you bum. So I don't want any of these guys. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where they're going. I get no answers. I'm getting no help. How much cat room? Do we have like $8? What's going on? I don't know. I like Brock Nelson. He's got that Islander stank, and he looks like he's from the cast of Mad Men. But, you know, he's got I like the cut of his jibs.
Rangers currently have $3 million in cap space.
And that's with the cap going up or just right now?
By the way, they announced a 2-year extension today for Juuso Parssinen. I know you'll love that.
My screen is not frozen.
No, your screen's not. 2 years, $1.25 million AAV.
All right.
Not exactly a high rate.
But why? Did he really impress? I know he had a good 3 games at the end of the season, and there's a couple guys that are into our show that are championing that say he's not that bad. But why? It was just why? Is it a 2-way contract? Is it a 3-way contract? I mean, what is it?
I don't know.
Parsnip. He wasn't bad out of all those fucking cast, that cast that they brought in. He wasn't horrible.
He was all right. It's in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot of money, so what the hell do I care?
Yeah.
It's only a 2-year deal.
Yes.
It's nothing ironclad, so.
So it's gonna get
Eurotrash. Puck Petey is pretty good.
Who's Puck Petey?
That's what I use. When I have to.
Puck Petey went up the salary caps and shit.
Yeah, the cap friendly.
They switched, right? The
Capitals
bought them out, right?
The Capitals bought the site, and I think the guy that used to run it died. I think.
Wow.
I think so. He was a young guy too. He was only in his 40s, I think. He had cancer. But Puckpedia has pretty much all the contract info if you need it. That's what I usually look at.
Well, I'm not excited. Can Riley Smith be reattained? Fucking loser.
He can be had.
He can be had. If he makes some smart signings and does it quickly after July 1st, fine. And with the Tkachuk, as I read it, and again, you're on the Puck PD there, PDA, whatever, Tkachuk is tradable until July 1st, I think. There is nobody, including Igor Shesterkin, that I would not trade to get that guy. Wouldn't they love to have a big-time goaltender there? In Ottawa, finally solved the problem since the Hamburglar's departure and his incredible rookie year. What's that guy's name? Albert Hammond? Or did he sing that song there?
Chris Hammond.
And
then he was barely heard from again after that.
Hamburglar.
Magical season. Brady Tkachuk has a no movement clause that kicks in for next season.
Yes, I think July 1st. But right now, he's technically can be traded for. He's got a lot of problems. Right now, as we stand here,
a lot of work to do.
May 2nd, 2023. Will Chris Kreider be back with the Rangers? Will Mika Zibanejad somehow be moved? Or we going to just come back? We're going to roll it all out again with a new coach and hope for the best.
No, I don't think Kreider's coming back.
Okay.
Although I don't know. I don't know. Now the Boston guy now at coach, USA guy. Maybe maybe I don't know. Maybe it's fixable. Who knows? I don't know.
Now Keandre is what, an RFA?
Yes.
Andrew Hammond. There you go.
Correctile dysfunction.
Yes, correctile dysfunction, human correctotype.
Nobody cares. This is the only show on the planet that even mentioned that guy's name in the last 10 years. 5 years.
I would be, we should have like some hot broad, like they have on that one show that comes in and says, oh, this is what you missed. This actually, I'll take the actuallys if it's some hot chick in like a mini dress and a Ranger jersey. I know our wives wouldn't like that, but we've got to do something about this. I don't need some nerd up in fucking Kitchener fucking telling me what the real guy's first name is. Hamburglar, that's all I know. He had a nickname and he stunk after that year. So he has arbitration rights. God, I would love to see those negotiations. Howden. Oh, we're going to revisit Brett Howden. Okay, God bless. God bless Brett Howden. I was there on Brett Howden night. I still got the poster. We're following him. We're still following him, right? I guess it's the off season. You could say, the Rangers blew it, Brett Howden. Go ahead. Love me some Brett Howden in his non-existent 2-goal seasons. If he gets $5 million, I'm jumping out of my window. You ain't scared to go war with me? Oh, boy. Don't bring a pea shooter to a gunfight, my friend.
Can't fight a war if you don't leave your house.
Yeah, you won't even cross the... USA may start a war with you up there in Kitchener. By proxy, I could have a war. I'm hearing things up in Canada I never heard. I made some friends up in Canada, not where you guys are, but in the Quebec province. Very racist over there. Not racist, I guess. I can't really use that. Very prejudiced against English-speaking people. They want to keep the lockdown on the French. And if they hear you speaking in English, they kind of like, those dumb Americans. Meanwhile, it's people that were born in Quebec, but just in a different, section.
Right. That's why they don't like Montreal, right? Because Montreal's more Americanized.
From what I hear, it's still got, it's more Americanized than it used to be. And the older folks are just like, those frogs, they're still like, they're all bitter. And it's the older generation that really is like, oh. And, all those draft dodgers that went up there to Canada during Nam.
You know what I think's funny is that, French Canadians, they look down on the Americanized Canadians, but French people, like real French people, they look down on French Canadians. They think they're all hillbillies.
Yeah, right.
They think the French Canadians are hillbillies.
And the Americans hate the French because they basically let Germany walk in and, and without us bailing them out in WW2, they don't be speaking German right now. So, it was a very interesting conversation. Speaking of which, I don't know if I've told you, but I'm playing this MMO online game. And I've made a lot of friends there from all around the world and all around the country. And I found out that several of them are big-time hockey fans.
Oh, nice.
And my guild, which is called, when you guild, that's basically like the guys that you play with a lot. You're like, you set goals. I know this is all geeky video nerd shit, but whatever. It's the summer. So I told them about the podcast. He's like, a lot of the guy, one guy in particular, this guy Ank, he was like, oh, my brother-in-law is a giant Ranger fan. Can you give me the name of the show? So if you're listening, I hope you're enjoying. I will send them the link after the show. So watch it. We need more and more passionate Ranger fans, especially in these dire circumstances. And a shout out to the Dizok Imperials, which is my guild's name.
There's somebody in the chat room named Danglebag.
Could be. That's an unfamiliar name. Danglebag, are you affiliated?
No, the reason why I'm asking that is because he specifically asked what you playing. And if I'm not mistaken, Danglebag is my son's Xbox screen name.
Oh,
I wondered if that's Jimmy.
Jimmy,
because he plays
Final Fantasy? World of Warcraft. Oh, yes. Yeah, the game I'm playing is very similar to World of Warcraft. Maybe I can get him into it. Dangleback says not too unfamiliar. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, what else we got, Robin?
Joe Micheletti, Mike Sullivan. That's all I got.
Pierre Buknevich with a hat trick. Oh, we went over that on the Patreon. Wait, I'm going back. I'm falling into that trap. Again. Oh, you're calling me a nerd? It's good to be a nerd nowadays. World of Warcraft, unfortunately. Try Pantheon. I'll get you in the greatest guild that ever existed. Anyway.
Well, all right. So now I've got a guild. This is where people that are in this guild, you will all play this game together, and you fight other guilds in the game. Is that
no?
Oh, okay.
No, it's an organization of people that have kind of like your friends, or you're like, in our instance, we are trying to become the #1 guild on the server to do content that other guilds cannot do.
Oh, okay.
To get the best, I guess, to put it in a layman's term, like the best treasure, the best loot, the high-end items.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's a very nerdy affair. But I have to say, I have.
If you enjoy it, God bless.
Well, you enjoy the video games. You play what, the Call of Duty there, and
I play Halo.
Halo, that's your gravy right there.
Still.
I agree that he needs a partner for Fox. He needs a stand-up defenseman.
Yes, and not Carson Soucy. Slosey.
Slosey has just been signed to 3 years. This just did.
It's an online game.
It is basically an online game. So, and I'm in Discord with these guys. So I'm talking all the time. You know me, I'm a chatterbox. So I've already revealed 3/4 of my life, like 3 weeks in, you know. I do a podcast 16 years. I'm like, yeah, okay, buddy. Why don't you pay attention to the game?
Right.
World of Warships for old men. What is that all about, Marquis? Sounds pretty cool, though. The Sword of Ezilrath. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what any of these things are.
That's all geek shit. Eddie Geek. That's what he used to call me. When they used to tease me in school. And look where I've risen. And big stroke of luck, Jim. Idiot Box. Played a show. Tremendous. I think you asked me about the show. We wound up getting on some guy's Instagram account.
Right. The Long Island weird. Right. What was it? Weird of Long Island? It was like
Long Island, some shit. I forget. And
RuneScape, my son used to play that too.
And it turns out people followed us to our YouTube channel of our last performance.
Oh, nice.
How many views do you think we got?
10,000.
No, come on, be realistic.
I was being realistic. I don't know.
10,000. We never even broke 1,000 on this show.
That's not true. I think we've got I don't know, 1,000.
Over 1,000 views.
Very nice.
Which is very significant.
That is. That's great.
So I'm very, very pleased with that. I think it was Long Island Wise Guys or some shit that guy was. Let's see. World of Warships is a real-time battle with accurate ships. Is it current? Is it current ships, or is it like, World War II ships, World War I ships? I'm very interested. Zoo Tycoon. Oh, wow. When a guest complains too much, you throw him out in the shark tank. That sounds about your speed, Patty Duke.
That is Jimmy.
That is Jimmy. Wow.
Once he said RuneScape's the greatest of all time, I had to text him and say, "Is that you in our chat room?"
And speaking of video games, I hear that the hockey games are not as popular as they once were.
I don't think they're as good. The last one I played was and I guess NHL 25, and I didn't care for it. Madden and Halo are pretty much all I play.
Wow. Gavrikov, is he available? I like that guy.
He's a free agent.
They could probably get him on the all these free agents are gonna get paid. Can't get really anybody on the cheap except like if you're a fucking Riley Smith. I wouldn't mind him. So
they got a lot of work to do.
They got a lot of work to do.
A lot of work.
Well, again, until this organization is fixed, it's just going to be Band-Aids. I mean, you got a lot of balls to pay Mike Sullivan that. It's taking care. That was
Halo, Eurotrash.
What was Halo?
He was asking what video game Rempe and Kreider were playing. It was Halo.
Oh, see? The Game of Champions.
It's fun. I have a lot of fun playing it. It's maddeningly frustrating and yet so funny all at the same time. Joe and I could play for hours, just even if it's just the two of us, we'll play against each other, and there's just so much shit talking, and Oh,
wow, that's one of the best features of it.
Right.
You talk with your friends and do stuff. So, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have any more left in the tank as far as Ranger news. I mean, what are we going to talk about? Have you watched any of the playoffs?
A little bit.
Now, I saw Cutter going nuts. You don't feel my pain. My pain. I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs. Your Ranger fans are spoiled. We've had a longer drought than you have.
It's amazing how he switches back and forth.
Yeah.
He's a flip-flopper.
The flip-flopper. So, I don't care about the Leafs. It's all the crap to me right now.
I'd like to see them win the cup, honestly.
Yeah. If they won the cup, I'd be happy, but I don't want to go through all the fucking drama.
But I'd never talk to Cutter again.
Really? What are you?
Just kidding.
Not like you're texting him constantly and you're on the phone with him.
Oh, every day we talk.
Wow.
We play Halo together.
Eurotrash reporting new Rangers jerseys next year? Oh, you mean an alternative one?
Well, there should be. I mean, I'm thinking there might be 2 new jerseys next year. I can't imagine there's not going to be a 100th anniversary jersey.
Right.
And then a Winter Classic jersey.
You know what we want for the 100th anniversary. You know what we want.
Pajamas.
No, we don't want pajamas. New York.
Oh, either one. I'll take either one.
Pajamas.
You know what I mean? They're 70s.
I know, but that's like, celebrating the John Ferguson era, John G. Talbot. I would love it. Me and you are the only ones that are in a rare, rarefied air and loving those jerseys.
Love it.
Oh, they look like Winnipeg. Oh, who cares? They were They were toast of the town back in those days.
Yeah, I would love to see the New York jersey come back.
Oh, yes. That would be good.
I got one. Did I tell you? I got one of those.
Yeah.
I got a new one.
Oh, you got Hedberg, and now what do you have? JD?
Well, no, I have a New York one that has Davidson.
Oh, the New York. Oh,
But I got a new New York one that says LaRouche on the back.
Oh,
Lucky Pierre.
Smoking doobies before the game.
Right.
Wow. Pierre LaRouche. He was a good Ranger, man. Remember when
He was.
Sater came in and like sent him down or something? I don't know, like he banished
Sent him to the Hershey
Ed
Bears.
Sater.
To the Hershey Bears.
Yeah. It was a good Ranger, but he wants nothing to do with the Rangers now.
I'm trying to didn't in the mid 80s, for some reason, didn't the Rangers share the Hershey Bears with the Flyers for a while as an AHL team?
I do not remember that. But there is a time when I got a little I kind of wandered away from the Rangers for like maybe a year. I needed that break during the Barrett Heiston era. And it was like Rennie's interchangeable robots.
Oh, well, this would have been like mid 80s. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some digging. I could have swore.
I don't think either. I don't think so either. But that, if you remember it, then it's, you know.
Cutter, this was like 10 years before you were born.
Oh, he knows everything. Come on.
He doesn't know everything.
No, he thinks he knows everything.
Right.
Yes, they were in Binghamton for a while. I went to some Binghamton games with Peter Fiorentino.
The 1984-85 season was also the first of a dozen-year affiliation with the Philadelphia Flyers, who shared the club with the Boston Bruins before taking over as the sole parent club the next season and remained so through 95-96. So they shared the club with the Bruins, but I still could have swore that for whatever reason, Pierre LaRouche got sent down to the Hershey Bears.
Well, could be. I don't know. Remember they were in Denver for a while?
Yes, I'm right.
The Denver Rangers.
85-86, he was sent down to the Hershey Bears.
Shut up, Cutter. Shut up.
I'm looking at his hockey DB page. I don't know why he went to Hershey.
He was on loan.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe the rules were a little different then. I don't know.
Yes. Well, Espo was Espo the GM, yeah. Or was it too hard Ted Sater, or was that Craig Patrick? I don't know. It's all fuzzy memories at this point. More fuzzy buffoonery. It was New Haven for a long time. The Nighthawks.
The Nighthawks, yes.
That's right. Chef, I loved Mike Rogers. You look at his stats as a Ranger, and they're fucking phenomenal. Yep. So we are. I
don't know. You know what? That's a question for Mike Smith.
Mike Smith would know that. We need somebody who is living in that era right now.
Well, I mean, we were living that, but Mike Smith, he should write a book. He really should.
He should. Instead of hanging out with Dancing Larry at the Molly Wee and taking pictures every 5 minutes, why don't you write a book, Mike?
Mike Smith honestly knows more about the Rangers than anybody I know, and that includes Sean McGaff.
Yes. So tonight I will be getting my ticket for the Sam Rosen, and I will be going to the Q&A, and I've already...
Thank you.
Oh, my God. Tesla Veda, you are a fact-finding fiend. How do you like that alliteration?
Thank you.
As partial compensation for what? That blurb was...
Well, Sater was an assistant with the Flyers, so I don't know.
What a weird transaction, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of weird transactions in the Rangers. There's a lot of weird history.
Yes, of course.
There's Mike Smith. See? You should write a book, man. I'm telling you.
You should, Mike. You remember every article, every
minute detail.
He should team up with Vinny Vasalino. I'm talking to Vinny Vasalino because one of the questions I want to ask Davidson at this Q&A is, what did he think when Dave Maloney slammed him on the back of the leg after a goal was scored? Vasalino goes, yeah, I remember that game. Okay, you remember the incident? The Rangers were up 2-0, and JD had a shutout. And that was after the first goal, I guess Dave Maloney cost him the shutout, and so he was so frustrated. JD, of course, was doing the flopsy-mopsy, and, somehow was like belly up in front of the goal. And Maloney went to go slam his stick, and he slammed JD's leg instead.
That's crazy.
There's video of that, too, somewhere.
Wait until you see the shirt that I bought to give to JD as a gift.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it's great.
Wow.
Phenomenal.
We
gifts. I'm coming with gifts. I'm coming with
the woman,
attitudes, pleasantries, the woman, and hands and knees.
Just do not mention Blueshirt Bulletin, because they remember the Keandre scandal. He had to come out and talk about that whole fucking
banter. Blueshirt banter.
Oh yeah, so whatever. Banter, yes, Blueshirt banter.
I'll
probably
make sure
forgot
I
the name.
distinguish ourselves.
Yes, I hope he's not gun shy of podcasts because of all that nonsense that they caused. So this is going to be wunderbar. I can't wait to ask him some questions. I want to ask him about obscure things that he's never been asked about.
Right. That's why that's why I am dying to get both of them on the show.
I mean, JD, when that guy threw the puck in the net from the crowd and you went nuts,
that was great.
Some lunatic threw a puck. They should lock this guy away and put him in the Looney Tune bin. Which on the next show, I'll get the video for it because I have it of that actually happening. My cousin was at the game. I find that but this is before they had the nets and the whole thing. The idea that the Rangers had a shot on net and some guy threw a puck onto the ice and it went in the net at the same time Messier had a scoring chance. To me, it's one for the ages. It should be celebrated. But JD was so distraught. He wanted the guy thrown in an insane asylum. The Looney Tune bin. And they should get the guy and, get rid of the jerk. As about as upset as I've ever seen JD since the Thomas Sandstrom hit when Dave Brown hit him from behind. Ugh. Put him in another league. I want to ask him about those two incidences and Dave Maloney. Because how many people have asked him about the Dave Maloney hitting you in the back of the leg?
Right.
He's like, I didn't talk to Dave for 2 weeks after that or something. So it'll be funny. It'll be fun. I can't wait. I'm going solo so far. Sean McCaff, I think he has the wrong date. I wouldn't mind picking up Sean and going to the show. I have no problem. I would like to go not alone, but it's whatevs.com. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I understand. Unless you're talking about wanting to take the ride alone, but Jen and I will be there. So.
Oh no! The ride is what
the
I'm
ride. It's a long ride.
Definitely. Oh, yeah, I definitely would have fun with you guys. That's definitely.
It's a schlep for you.
It's a schlep, but I probably would leave early and maybe because I got it. I hate the fucking traffic. I hate the George Washington Bridge.
Right.
I hate the whole fucking thing. So.
Well, you'd probably come in through Staten Island.
Staten Island.
I would think.
The Verrazano?
Over the Verrazano and then to the Outer Bridge crossing, which brings you right into Woodbridge.
There you go. You are my human map quest. Remember MapQuest?
I do.
I love it. Oh, my Lord. All right. So that's all I got. Else. Yeah, I got nothing else. We done what? 7:30? We did an hour and 15. That's pretty good.
Hour and 15.
No commercials. Join Patreon.
Commercial free, right. We're just in it for the money, though, according to Frankie Gallo.
Who's Frankie Gallo?
Some guy in the group.
For money?
Yeah, he said.
Look at these.
I made a joke. I made a similar joke about Drury's extensive search for a coach. And he says, Ranger fans are never happy. I swear we could have hired Jesus Christ. The Ranger fans are nothing but a bunch of keyboard warriors. I'm like, obviously you just missed the humor. And then he said
keyboard
something
warriors.
Else. And he goes, I know why this is why you and Eddie do a show, for the money. And I'm like, oh yeah, the piles of cash we sleep on in the villa in France.
Yes. That's why you got these balsa wood doors behind me that are from like 1968.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I got the money. You know, right. I mean, it's all about the money.
Right.
Yeah. Well, keyboard warriors, our names, and we face to face. We're not keyboard warriors. We tell everybody here, we're out in the open. We're not keyboard warriors. I'm accountable for everything I say on this show, especially in the Patreon show, which I broke records in breaking in precognition. I guess I'm trying to say. And yes, no, you're not as bad as Frankie Gallo, the Gallo crime family. We're for the money, man. Yes, Frankie does make you look good. On that note, Ranger fans, I wouldn't be too happy. The exhaustive search has come to an end.
We've got the white smoke. Habeas Ranger Room. We have a coach.
Habeas Ranger Room, the New York Rangers. I've hired a coach for the next 2 years.
Right. Thank you guys for being here on a Friday night.
Yes,
enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
And we'll be back, I don't know, next week or the week after. We don't go away for long during the summer.
Yeah.
If there's news, we'll be here.
I wish you $1 million, everybody.
Wish you all $1 million. And
that's all I got to say, everybody.
All right. Eddie, always a pleasure. We'll see you guys soon. Good night, everybody.
Good night.